Yeah, good morning, all. Today, hmm, what's this total in and out of domain topic? You observe it, the recap, introduction, key navigation, then dictionary, table scripting, discussion, also yesterday completed. So, table related, table field related, semantic properties. So, but there was some issue with while creating editing entries. So what I am because I found some issue in the EMP master table, so we cannot continue this table because while creating editing entries, there was I tried to solve it. Some runtime error is coming. Like I created one more table called as employee master one. Here I'll just use the same as it is. Okay, as it is. Okay, what is the mistake? As it is reusable scenario also. So we no, no, you now onwards, we will continue with employee master one rather than this. Go, go for this. Yeah. So this one, go to this table contents, this display, this that is it. This is also showing the okay, go to utilities, table create entries. This is- So let's go to the, I'll come back. That we will move on to the domain topic. Okay. Today's topic to be completely domain. Like, we can say that, say working with domain. So same thing, we have to discuss the what exactly domain is and its theory, practicals, how to create our own domain, custom domain. Okay. Then again, exploring built-in domains and how it is used, where it is used, everything. we- So basically, how do we describe domain is domain describes describe the describe technical properties of the database table field. Database table. So see these descriptions, you can say other way around also. Domain describes table field technical properties. Okay. So what exactly, right? The technical properties includes what? Okay. Technical properties are nothing but the data type, which data type it is. First one is data type, second is immediate followed by length. Okay, length, that field length. Okay, next decimal places also, decimal places. Next, after this, we have one concept called as this is one set. Then one more concept called as conversion exit, conversion routine. Conversion routine is also defined at a domain level, right? Then again, there is a one concept called as sign option is there. So sign. Okay, this is under technical properties, right? Next, domain also describes the values the table field, database table. So values can be defined using, there is a separate tab for it. There is a separate, so value to C level, this is your domain. Like if you consider Kunal, three properties tab is common. Definition tab we have, yes, decimals, output length, routine, sign, and case sensitive. These are all comes under the format section this and the output section this. Okay. So this we are calling it as length, but it is depends on the number of characters. Then output length and the case sensitive also it's a part of that. So this is one set. That set is output length. Output length is why each option is important for us. So sign also. Then finally we'll go for case sensitive also. So when to use these options also you have to case sensitive. Okay. Next, under using value range tab. Value range tab is used. Fixed value. Fixed values are the intervals or ranges. Ranges are intervals. Then value table. So these are all about your own okay, all those things. These are all technical, this technical document. Okay, you what exactly the purpose in there we will discuss going forward. Next, like domain, yes, domain is also part of data dictionary. Data dictionary. That is, it is a dictionary object. It is a dictionary. So it is directly domain. Domain can be created using like what is that? Data dictionary or ABAP dictionary initial screen. In the initial screen itself, you can create, change, display. That is, maintenance is possible all the time. Yes. Even yesterday's, you go back, this is the data type. That is your data type means the data element. Okay, we can create, change, display, as well as delete, copy. These options are possible. Only rename is not given here. Remaining things possible. Next, but there is a difference. Okay, you can create it. You create this the initial screen and the data element screen also. Data element screen. So two ways you can create it. Yes. Next, domain is a repository object also. Independent repository object. So it is a dictionary object which can be created from SC level. And the next repository object. When I say repository object, same common rules applicable. So SAP defined, this is same, no need to write every time. One, two times I'll write remaining next time. So SAP defined domain names begins with only A to X. Okay. Then next, custom or customer. Customer defined domain names begins with Y. Since in our data dictionary we have that restriction, first, second, third position, underscore is not good. This is alphanumeric. Those are all same. So SAP domains belongs to SAP package. They are already active. You can only open in display mode. When we create, you have to activate it, and as well as you have to save it under $TMP or custom package. This is what we have to do it. Right. Next, if you look at the domain part, yes, once custom domain is created and activated, what happens once you create and activate, it can be used, okay, used in data element. That is, domain can be used in data element. Next, one domain can be used in many data elements. Many data elements. That is concept of reusability. Okay, it can be reused here. What happens under domain level? You will get all these things. Okay, so wow, in this hierarchy, if you look at, domain is used in data element, which means this statement implied meaning is that domain cannot be used or cannot be used at a table field level. Yes, it cannot be used, cannot be reached to table field level. This is the, yes, level by level we have to understand first. So date right. Otherwise, whatever we can say, other way around, data element uses, okay, our domain is attached to data element. Both statements are Next. So, uh, like a data element, get the properties, technical properties from domain, and at data element level, we will declare non-technical properties, that is semantic properties. Finally, when data element is assigned to the table field, so table field will get both non-technical properties, data element, and technical properties from domain. Since the domain cannot be used into table level, table field level, so we have to uh, use data element is must. It's like a medium, intermediate. Okay. So finally, with practicals too, you will come to know these details. So uh, next, so we have an in this hierarchy, domain is a low level, low level uh, object. Okay, repository object in the hierarchy. Yes. Even repository object or dictionary object we can write. So what is that meaning is like low level means see we can drill down to table field to data element to domain level you can go. But after domain, that is the final. Domain to next level we cannot go. That is completely lower level. So you yes, this is what this is also important. And the next thing is domain cannot be used in it is not only into tables. Yes, similarly, domain cannot be used used directly in programs or function modules or else your global class methods cannot use even script forms, smart forms also. Domain cannot be used. So domain is used in data elements. Data elements can be used in any programs. This is the way we have to work it. Okay. Yes. Hope you guys understand. With if you want to go for yes steps. So steps to create custom domain. So same steps to execute the T code ST11. Then after choose or select choose domain the button. Correct. Next specify the domain name begins with or start with Y or Z. Then click on create button. Now specify short description. Specify short description. Now specify the data type and length, comma, length. That's all. Okay, remaining value range tab and all optional. That's all. Save as local object or package. Okay. Yes. Next, after that, then check. And finally, so this is your domain creation steps. You have to follow these steps as it is. Right. So what next? Yes. If you want to note it down, yes. Yes. Extension is specify value ranges. value ranges. Okay, values in value ranges. In value ranges, which is which is not mandatory. This is overall optional step. Yes. Okay, but because we have to write down the sequential steps. Now the domain is created and activated. What next? What next is usage. So usage of domain, where you want to use this while creating data element. Okay, while creating data element, use use domain domain as alternative to okay, because same rule, usage of built-in type is not reusable approach. Usage of domain only is recommended. Usage of domain only. So once you go for this particular data element, what will happen? Once you enter the domain name, you will get all the properties. That is your technical properties also. Right. Now let's go to the practicals for this, because we will try to understand our table. Okay. You have both tables are there. MP master also, MP master 1 also. Both are same as of now. But the entries are there. Yes, we can find. But there is an issue in the creation screen. Okay, till here we can reach out. But when we want to go for edit entries or create entries, there is this, yes, this particular province screen. So and so program. This is the program name, built-in program name, and as well as this is the 01111. Triple one is the screen number. So this was getting error. We have to rectify it. So for time being, I'll continue with this. Like we will go with EMP master only, because I thought of the clear table, but still there also we are getting the same problem. So in this table, like we want to create which one? The domain related. First, let us start from domain example. Yes. Like first, step one, creation of the domain. So domain is the repository object. Just I want to go for, we have a PAN number, permanent account number. That is every employee must have this. So if you go to here, like PANNO, this is the uh, domain name. So click on create. So here, just observe that when you go to the SC11 domain radio button, you have to choose, then click on create. Here, this domain name is into non-editable, and you can see the title also, left side, left top, where we are into domains. Then you have, this is at a new state, correct? So come, if you look at the short description, you have to provide, Okay, whenever there is, these are all called as input fields. Under input fields, what is there? Some are optional, some are mandatory. Optional means no need to enter. Mandatory means compulsory. So functional people generally we can call it as required entries. So how do we classify whether it is a required entry or optional entry? Is if this input field, if the input field is blank, then that is optional entry. If the input field with checkbox, that is called as a tick mark. This we don't call it as a tick mark and all. It is a kind of enabled checkbox or activated checkbox. So that means that is called as required entry. Entry is required here. You cannot skip without entering short description and data type. These two are required. Remaining things are optional. So this is what you have to understand while working with SAP scripts. So now suppose I just enter number of characters just like this. Okay. Then number of characters I entered. And try to check. Immediately you will get an error. Right? Fill out all required entry fields. Yes. That is, it's not specifying particularly short description is missing or data type is missing. So this error, when error always displayed in red color, status bar. So when error is there, you cannot proceed to the next level. You have to correct it. What is the mistake we did? Short description is missing here. So okay, I'll try to give short description. A permanent. Okay, permanent account number is phone number. Still, I try to check. Okay, still you are getting error. Yes, error at now the cursor is at this position. That is, this mandatory value is missing here. So if you go to the data type, you have to give the meaningful data type. PAN number is alphanumeric, that we know that. So we are going to take alphanumeric means character. Then now check error gone. So two things are required entries. We have supplied it. Number of characters we will give. If you don't take, it will take only one character. So we have to give number of characters is 10. Okay, that is complete. Now, yes, over. Value range is optional. Now you go for save it. So this is DOMA. Till now we have seen three things. First TABL for table, DTEL for data element, DOMA for domain. Right? This is the domain. So you can save it under, yes, this is my domain name, current object. Object directory entry. Whenever this dialog box comes, you have to understand that this object is a new object into the SAP system. It is going to update which table? TADIR table. TADIR table. Like you can go for click on save button because it saved under this package and TADR table. When you save it under package, system proposes transportable workbench request. Continue with this. Like now it is, see, you can see the green color tick mark as a so and so domain is saved. Saved in the sense it is saved at a TADR level. Next, check. Okay, we have to do the sequential activity. Save, check, and activate. Check. There's no inconsistencies found, no errors found. If at all any errors are there, system proposes errors, you have to correct it. Okay, right. Then finally you have to activate. If no errors, it is ready to activate. Object activated. Can see the immediate status changed. Right. Then there are only three tabs. Properties tab, that is equal to attributes tab. Attributes or properties or characteristics, these three are giving more or less similar meaning. So in all table level, data element level, domain level, the first tab remains fixed. Always it is having four fixed values. Last modified by person name, last modified date, current package which belongs to. So two tabs are over. Remaining value ranges we will discuss as a separate thing. Right? Okay. We will go to um, what next domain is done. Go back. So this domain you cannot use it at a table level. I said step by step domain is created and activated. It must be used in the data element only. Okay, suppose if I go to the table level directly, I will show you. Yes, employee PANNO. Yes, did AVK underscore PANNO. It is saying that it is not active. So not active. That's it. Okay. So that means you cannot create the domain over here. This is the place where you can enter only data element only. Okay. Right. Go back. So I will create the data element with the same name. So the data element name, domain name may be same, may be different. We will take two examples, avk underscore PANNUM. Wantedly, I will take some different days. You already aware of how to create a data element. So this is your wantedly, yes, I'm writing. This is your data element of no. When you go to the data element, the first step should be data type. So you have to specify the under data type tab, domain is the first one. Under elementary type, you have to specify the domain. Like suppose here by this time I forgot my domain name. No problem. You can get it from the F4 help star and press F. See this domain used. So this is the domain name. This domain name includes data type, length, and short description. So now you execute continue. What you will get? You will get the data type also, length also, and short description. Here now as save under package. You are going to save it the data element, right? Now field label, maintaining field label is optional. I will show you which is the optional step. Without that also, the documentation and the field labels are optional. Go to activate. Yes, activate. So what happened? Now the data element is, so go back. This data element can be used in table. So but do remember it is when we use NO is domain, NUM is data element. So open the table in change mode here. EMP PANNO AVK underscore. Yes. Suppose if you go to the star also, you will get data element name, not the domain. See, because you have to know closely all these things. Like till now, with this name, there are three data elements are available. Street, mobile, the PAN number, NUM. Yes. Okay. This is character. But the description is data element description you are getting. The description is not from the domain. So observe this. You will get, okay. Right. Now, finally, you save, check, and activate the table because table is inactive now. Okay, done. So, but entries creation, entries maintenance, no change at all because this is how we can use it. So, this is what I told you. The bottom up approach I said. What is table can be created as two ways. That is top down approach as well as bottom up approach. Correct? Yes. So in bottom up approach, what happens? First, I created a data domain first. Okay. Yes. Create all data elements using domains. This is one thing. Create a table fields using data elements. This is the bottom up. Below to above. In this, which one comes bottom? Domain comes bottom. So first, create the domain and activate it. Create the data element and activate. Finally, so use this domain into data element to table field. So this is a concept of reusability. But you make sure that like when we create these three are independent objects, that's why everything should be active status at any point of time. When it is active, then only you can use it anywhere. Okay, yes. Bottom up approach. Then I will demonstrate one more scenario with top down approach also. You have to know top down. Top down is exactly opposite. In top down, we'll begin with table, table to data element to domain. We will come here. So one another example we will consider it. Go to the employee master table like is here EMP Aadhaar number. Yes, just like in USA we have SSN number. Here in India we have Aadhaar number. So AVK underscore is Aadhaar number. See now I am giving the this particular data element first. Once you press enter, it is saying that it is not active. Not active means it is not available. And it's available, but the status is not active. That is the difference. Correct. So now, like we want to create it, you can create it by using forward navigation. What is forward navigation is you have to double click on this particular data element. Just place the cursor in from anywhere, like Z2 NO, anywhere you can place the cursor and double click on it. So double click on it. You have to observe closely. Exit processing. AVK master was changed to you want to save before exiting and editing. So first you have to save it. Why you have to save? Because you added EMP as a new additional field. That's why earlier it was 9 column, 9 fields. Now it is added with the 10th one. That's why you have to save first. Save it. Now it will open. See, another dialog box. Data element so and so does not exist. Do you want to create? Yes. You have always three options. Cancel, cancel this dialog box. No means I don't want to create data element. Yes means continue with the data element. Yes. So you can't continue. That is yes. So it will take you to the data element creation screen. Yes, you can find it. No. So in this data element, here I am giving this Aadhaar number of the employee. Okay. So what is next? We have to go to the data type. You have to give data type and length. That can be given in two ways. One is built-in, second is domain. But initially, when I demonstrated this data element, I introduced with built-in type. But usage of built-in type is not recommended approach. But it can be used. Built-in type can be used, but this cannot be reusable approach if you go with built-in. So always SAP recommends as a standard approach, you have to go for domain creation. So the domain name, data element name may be same, may be different also. Both scenarios are accepted. I demonstrated PON number as a different names. This is I'm taking the same names. Like continue, like no active domain is available. If at all any domain is available, you will get it. If not, if not, yes. So double click on this. Yes. Go to the like exit processing dialog box again. Save before exiting and editing. You have to save this data element first. Yes. So save the data element. Save it. Yes. Now go to the domain. Domain does not exist. You want to create a domain. No confusion. You have to see that title where you are into. So this is the domain. Okay. Aadhaar number. Now the data type you have to specify. The Aadhaar number is how much? 12 digits. Only digits. So if it is digits, you can only take MC. 12 digits. So now go for save it. This is domain. Okay. Right. Save page. Continue. Now check it. So domain is activated. Go back. You have to activate. Once you activate and come back, automatically you will get the data type and length, whatever you defined it, you got it. Okay. Yes. Next, you have to again save, check, and the data element also. Also, you have to make it activate. Come back. Finally, you will get it. This description is coming from data element. Okay. Yes. Technical properties are coming from, in fact, domain. It's data type. Okay. Now, finally, you activate the table because this table must be activated. This is your 10th field is successful. So, I demonstrated top down. Top down, what happens? We go with table field first. Table and the table. So for table field, we will create a data element for table field. Then we will create a domain for data element also. Everything as individual. So now, okay, yes. If I go to one example, I'll try to draw a picture. so that you will understand much more clear. First of all, you are into SC level, right? This is your uh, SC level initial dictionary initial speech, ABAP dictionary. In ABAP dictionary, first radio button is database table. Second radio button is data type. Second means the third one. Under a data type, again you have a data element also, right? Data element, because there is a yes, you can yeah like it as a data element. Next, at the bottom we have domain. So there are three radio buttons. Then at the bottom you will find a display change create. This all this. No, yes, this is initial screen with radio button. But I already told you many times, this is a radio button group. So you can create only one object at a time. If the control, which option is chosen, selected database table. So the cursor is blinking here. You can find this red color highlighted symbol over here. Control and cursor system focus is on data element or database table only, which means system assumes that you are creating, changing, displaying all activities on table only. Even can check, activate, where used, and delete and copy. All these things applicable to the this cursor position only. Cursor is highlighted. The cursor means the blinking part where you are when you type something, that is cursor. Cursor position we call it as technically cursor position. Okay, where you are keyboard cursor position. Control is nothing but system current focusing area is called as control. System control. So cursor and control is there at table. Then go to the data type. See, it is automatically deselected. Database table deselected, data type is selected. So among the seven, you can select only one. This is your cursor is switched. Control and cursor both are switched. Domain. So you have to, whatever you are assuming, what you want to try, accordingly you have to choose the appropriate cursor position also. Without confusion, you have to create these activities. Okay, one time. Yes. That's why before going to start the SAP practice, what is important? Paperwork is important. You have to be more clear with the documentation, what you want to create it. Using that only, you can go for create the scenarios. It is now go for like if this is the table, so you will find what exactly this. This is your database table, mm, table, table, and this table you will find the table definition. Into that you will find the fields tab. In the fields tab, you will find the this is your obviously a field one. In the field one, you will find the data element. This is your data. When you go to this data element, double click on the data element, it will go to the next screen called as This is a data element creation screen. So when we double click on this data element, control transfer to create this particular screen. Okay, you have to change this. We'll go to this screen. In this data element, you will find option called as, under data type, you will find option called as domain. So that means we are going to create a domain over here. This is your input field. This is your input field, correct? And this is your input field. In fact, we have to write, yes, when you create a table, it will go to the table creation, correct? We are moving to table creation, right? Then when you double click on data element, it will go to the data element screen. So in the similar way, if you double click on the domain, it will take you to the domain creation screen. This is your. So in this domain, you have, obviously, what is important in domain is data type and length, both in decimal places, etc. Okay. So when you double click on this particular domain, you try to create, will take you to this screen. Okay, clear? Step by step, level by level. What text? You have to, after creation of the domain, finally, you have to save plus, check plus, activate. Save, check and activate. Then you come back. Once you come back, what happens? This domain details are applied to the data element level. You can see immediately. Then you have to save again, check plus, activate the data element. Now, once you back, you have to finally come to the table level. So you have to save the table again. Already you saved it. Otherwise, you have to save again. Check for syntactical errors. Then, then mainly, you no need to go to back again because this is the initial screen, right? Then you can maintain entries only. That's what. After activation, you can maintain entries. So this is your top-down approach scenario I told you. In top-down, what happens? We'll start from table. The data element does not exist, forward navigation through will create it. If the domain does not exist, forward navigation through we will create it. Okay, clear? Yes. So, but what is important here is the domain creation. When you say domain create, always the control goes to the domain, means the control goes to this particular domain creation screen, right? See, this goes to this screen only. When you go to the data element, it goes to this screen only. When you go to the table, it goes to this screen only. Yes, this is important for you because whether you come with, you suppose you want to create a domain. Domain can be created directly from S11 initial screen. If you click on create change display, ultimately you reach to this screen only. Domain creation screen is only one. Data element creation screen is one individual. Table definition creation is this one. Either you do it bottom up approach, top down approach. So these three separate screens are given, and these three are independent repository objects and dictionary objects. Okay. Only the difference you have to understand is domain is not a data type. This is little extended discussion. Data types are three: data element, structure, and table type. Going forward, I'll introduce structure and table type. But time being, you remember that domain is a independent and it is individually you can create it. This in this top-down hierarchy, the low-level dictionary object is domain only. Yes. Okay. Yes. You have to understand this way. Okay. That's why I said you want to create the table. What is standardized approach? Okay, you do it bottom up approach, top down approach. Both are same only. No problem. Both approaches are accepted only. Okay, but usually we'll go with the top down quickly. Okay, otherwise you want to go the reverse. You create all the domains first and activate all the domains. Then go to the next level data elements. You create it and activate it. When you create this data elements, use this domains. Then finally, when you go to the table fields creation, make use of recently created data elements also. Okay. Yes. So if you look at here, that you may get a doubt. You may get a doubt. What is the doubt? The domain cannot be used in the table field directly. This is restricted. So why SAP given two separate? Why can't they provide everything in one screen? No, because SAP point of view, understanding point of view, technical properties they kept at one screen, that is domain screen. Non-technical semantic properties are kept at data element screen. Suppose if at all I want to tell you like what is that data type length decimals, that conversion routine. Okay, conversion routine is only attached at a domain level, and value ranges are only at domain level. That is, these options, whatever available at domain, that is not available here. Even if you look at parameter ID, search help options, the document and supplementary documentation, all those things, field labels, options are only available here. It is not available here. That's why each one is mandatory for the table field. So as a standardized approach, go with when you create data element, try to fill all the tabs. When you go to domain, try to fill all the tabs and activate all the independent things. So since if you want to say this statement, data element is getting technical properties from domain. Then when it comes to the table field is getting technical and non-technical properties at a time. Yes. So in fact, we can say that data element is called as a semantic domain. Semantic means semantic properties are there and the technical properties are there from the domain also. Okay, that's why it is called as a semantic domain also. Right? So, any questions on this also? So, this is your table field to data element to domain. So the domain name you can start with do underscore. Yes. Okay. I understand. So